The Power Glove is a controller accessory for the Nintendo Entertainment System. The Power Glove itself was a commercial success for its early virtual reality mechanics and being shown in various forms of media. However, its two games did not sell well, as it was not packaged with a game, and it was criticized for its imprecise and difficult-to-use controls. Development: The Power Glove was originally released in 1989. Though it was an officially licensed product, Nintendo was not involved in the design or release of this accessory. Rather, it was designed by Grant Goddard and Samuel Cooper Davis for Abrams Gentile Entertainment, made by Mattel in the United States and PAX in Japan. Additional development was accomplished through the efforts of Thomas G. Zimmerman and Jaron Lanier, a virtual reality pioneer responsible for co-developing and commercializing the Data Glove, who had made a failed attempt at a similar design for Nintendo earlier. Mattel brought in image design and marketing's Hal Berger and Gary Amron to develop the raw technology into a functional product. They designed Power Glove over the course of 8 weeks. The Power Glove and Data Glove were based on Zimmerman's instrumented glove. Zimmerman built the first prototype that demonstrated finger flex measurement and hand position tracking using a pair of ultrasonic transmitters. His original prototype used optical flex sensors to measure finger bending, which were replaced with less expensive carbon-based flex sensors by the AGE team. Design and functionality: The glove has traditional NES controller buttons on the forearm as well as a program button and buttons labeled 0 to 9. The user presses the program button and a numbered button to input commands, such as changing the firing rate of the A and B buttons. Along with the controller, the player can perform various hand motions to control a character on screen. The Power Glove is based on the patented technology of the VPL Data Glove, but with many modifications that allow it to be used with modestly performing consumer hardware and sold at an affordable price. Whereas the Data Glove can detect yaw, pitch and roll, uses fiber optic sensors to detect finger flexure, and has a resolution of 256 positions per finger for 4 fingers, the Power Glove can only detect roll, and uses sensors coated with conductive ink yielding a resolution of 4 positions per finger for 4 fingers. This allows the Power Glove to store all the finger flexure information in a single byte. However, it appears that the fingers actually feed an analog signal to the microprocessor on the Power Glove. The microprocessor converts the analog signal into 2 bits per finger. There are 2 ultrasonic speakers in the glove and 3 ultrasonic microphones around the TV monitor. The ultrasonic speakers take turns transmitting a short burst of 40 kHz sound, and the system measures the time it takes for the sound to reach the microphones. A triangulation calculation is performed to determine the X, Y, Z location of each of the 2 speakers, which specifies the yaw and roll of the hand. The only dimension it cannot calculate is the pitch of the hand, since the hand can pitch without moving the location of the 2 ultrasonic speakers. Games: 2 games were released with specific features for use with the Power Glove: Super Glove Ball, a 3D puzzle maze game, and Bad Street Brawler, a beat-em-up. Both games are playable with the standard NES controller, but include moves that can only be used with a glove. These 2 games are branded as part of the Power Glove gaming series. Since no Power Glove-specific games ever retailed in Japan, the Power Glove was sold only as an alternative controller. This decision damaged sales and eventually caused PAX to declare bankruptcy. 2 more games, Glove Pilot and Manipulator Glove Adventure, were announced but never released. Another unreleased game, Tech Town or Tech Town, is a virtual puzzle-solving game in which the player moved a robotic hand around a deserted space station type of setting, using the glove to open doors and to pick up and use tools. It can be seen in a sneak peek in the official Power Glove Game Player's GAM tape. Games without specific support can also be played with the glove by inputting codes on the glove's keypad that set a control scheme for the glove. Reception: Approximately 100,000 units of the Power Glove were sold in the U.S., with gross sales totaling $88 million. The 2 games that were especially made for the Power Glove sold poorly, and the Power Glove itself was a critical and commercial failure. In popular culture. The Power Glove is prominently shown off in the Nintendo-produced film The Wizard, wielded by antagonist Lucas Barton, whose smug boast, "I love the power glove. It's so bad," became an internet meme years later. Mutant reviewers from Hell noted that the power glove is featured in the movie Beethoven during the scene where Rice is playing Super Mario Bros. 3 and her brother Ted is next to her wearing a power glove on his right arm, pointing at the screen. The 1995 film Hackers briefly shows the power glove on Agent Ray's arm while he examines Joey's seized assets. In the sixth A Nightmare on Elm Street film, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, Freddy Krueger tries to kill Spencer using an NES, but when the controller got unplugged, Freddy uses his version of the power glove as a replacement, saying "You forgot the power glove." Freddy also shouts "Now I'm playing with power," a play on Nintendo's tagline "Now you're playing with power." In the revived series of The Electric Company, prankster Manny Spamboni is often seen sporting a power glove and using it to activate his various gadgets. Speed metal band Power Glove is named after the Nintendo accessory. The band's music consists mainly of old video game songs translated into a fast-paced metal fashion. The band displays an original power glove at the conclusion of their set. Australian electronic music duo Power Glove is named after the accessory. The band composes and produces synthesizer-heavy tracks inspired by 1980s culture. James Rolfe, as his trademark character, the angry video game nerd, is usually associated with the power glove. On several episodes, the power glove, together with other NES accessories, is used by the nerd as a weapon against video game monsters. Additionally, episode 14 features a full review of the power glove and the nerd uses the famous wizard line "Now you're playing with power," and then jokes on it. The regular show episode Video Game Wizard revolves around a parody of the power glove, called the Maximum Glove. Furthering the parody, the product's tagline is "It's so bad." The title and basic plot of the episode are a reference to The Wizard, which prominently features the power glove. Its general unreliability is also parodied. In the Kickin' It episode Glove Hurts, Milton's prototype of the strength gloves are modified power gloves on both of his hands for the science project at school. Then Derek Tanner remodifies the gloves to be stronger and different than Milton's prototype. Australian electronic group Knife Party created a song sharing the same name as the Nintendo accessory. It also uses a vocal sample from one of the original Power Glove commercials. The song was released on its third EP called Haunted House. The electro-hip-hop group Hyper Crash's first EP, The Arcade, makes several references to the power glove. Samples from The Wizard including Lucas Barton's quote, "I love the power glove. It's so bad," are used in the Nintendo core band, Horse the band's song, Cutsman. The character Hackerman from the Kickstarter-funded 30-minute film Kung Fury uses a power glove to enter hardcore hacking mode in order to hack time. A documentary about the power glove called The Power of Glove is in development. On the video game League of Legends, the champion Veigar has a skin named Final Boss Veigar in which his right hand is modeled after the power glove. In the indie video game Bobo's Big Adventure, the titular character summons a power glove onto his hand at the end of the final boss fight against Little Mac, and uses it to punch Little Mac with such force that he decapitates him in dramatic slow-motion fashion. A Smosh character's called Teleporting Fat Guy uses a power glove for time traveling and teleporting. In the animated series on Shut Up! Cartoons, it can also shoot powerful beams. The villain Bart Reynolds and his minions also use the power gloves to fight Teleporting Fat Guy. A number of teens review the power glove on Teens React, and Teens React to retro gaming. In an episode of The Goldbergs, A Goldberg Thanksgiving, the character Adam gets a power glove from his uncle. Australian rapper Seth Sentry can be seen wearing the power glove in the video for his song Hellboy. Player 1, a video game-themed villain from the superhero comic book Bedbug, wears a power glove. In the music video, How Long by synth-pop band Information Society, the power glove can be seen at the beginning. References